What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Mereyah. To be fair, this is only a few things that I'm going to be talking about in this video, but things that I feel like I've never really stressed enough, and they're super important concepts, so I just want you guys to hear them and I want my thoughts to be out. And I just want to say what I say, because I said what I said. No particular order, because I don't even have a concrete plan of what exactly I'm going to talk about, but I have a couple of things. So I want to go ahead and start with a huge development. I can't believe I almost forgot. Face masks. As of right now, A&M is making it mandatory to have face masks on campus. I know as much as probably all of you know, because I'm sure if you're going into A&M, and honestly going into college, they've been communicating with you guys, even if you are incoming freshman students. I think everyone's trying to do the best that they can, handling such a fluid situation like COVID-19. I'm sure many colleges will be implementing this requirement, I guess. As far as I know, it is going to be required for all students to wear face masks while on campus. I honestly don't know if we are supposed to wear them in class as well. I know that they're working on also implementing ways for classes to possibly have to go later in the day to accommodate the physical distancing that will have to be implemented in in-person classes. I'll link some websites that have the specific information that I'm telling you guys about right now and more details. I'll link those resources for you guys below, but just know, face masks will be required. I don't know if they are going to supply any face masks for incoming students or what the deal is with that. Do you have to get your own mask? How many masks do you have to have? There's been things circulating, but I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know for sure. It'll be in the resources that I provide down below. First thing you need to know is that there's face masks. Second thing, in a lot of ways, a university experience, or not even a university experience, any college experience, could be really representative of things that you aren't so comfortable with. So I would just encourage everyone to have an open mind when you're going into college. That is really where growth is, and just world perspective and worldview is developed. Don't put yourself in a box before you're even in the mailroom. Does that make sense? I wouldn't limit yourself to what you might be most comfortable with doing. College itself is like a baby version of the real world in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways it's very representative of the real world. It just depends on where you're going to school and what you're used to in your own life leading up to that. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that your mindset going into college is super important, and it's going to shape a lot of the experiences that you have, and an open mindset is the one that is going to more likely lead you to more opportunities that maybe didn't expect, really end up impacting your life, impacting your beliefs, impacting your worldview, impacting the people that you end up surrounding yourself with, your best friends, etc., etc. You just never know. So I think having as open of a mind as possible and being just as willing to try new things and talk to new people and hear other new perspectives is so important, and such a great opportunity to do it during the transition of you going into college or you going into a new year of school, period. Kind of jumping from what I just talked about with having an open mind, trying not to put yourself in a box. I understand if you go in and you have things that you want to do, like if you want to rush, great. But where people might get stuck is like, oh, I want to rush for only the sorority type of thing. Having your mind on some perfect version of your college experience, that's gonna make itself at the end of the day, and the open mind is what really leads you to those things that draw you in. You might not be able to experience those things if you're limiting yourself going in with like sort of a tunnel vision. With that said, and being willing to try all these different things and have all of these new experiences, and this might be like a little bit cliche, but there's a saying to be the change that you wish to see in the world. So if you see problems or things that like raise your suspicion, or things that you don't, that don't really sit right with you, whether it be orgs or professors or the way something is set up, the way classes ran. I think it is so important to voice your opinion. Everyone has a voice. I would say just try not to let external forces or even your own sort of things limit you to what you think that you can voice as far as what you think is right and just. I'm pretty much just saying, like, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to challenge the norms. Don't be afraid to integrate yourself into a space that might be uncomfortable at first, but that you could change yourself and you can share perspective with others. I think that is where real change and real positivity is harnessed and cultivated, and it's so important in the world right now in a lot of ways. I'm just gonna give a personal anecdote really quick. I've never really talked about my time in fish camp, like in depth on my channel. I think I've mentioned it in like me going to Rev Night in the past years, but fish camp is an organization. It is, correct me if I'm wrong, the largest student-led orientation program in the world. Yeah, housed right here at Texas A&M. It's a 4-day orientation program. So with the coronavirus, they're currently figuring out a plan of what they're gonna do about that. And this is not about that situation, but it is about just the organization itself. No one's gonna like every organization. No one's gonna want to be a part of every organization. Just to briefly go through, I'm not gonna like go through my camp history or anything, but I was, like I said, involved in fish camp for 3 years. I'm not an active member of fish camp anymore, but like fish camp truly, look me in the eyes right now, changed my entire life. It is the reason that I stayed at A&M as a representative of the school, as a former representative of fish camp, I guess, former counselor. Like fish camp was just very impactful for me, and I know that it's not the same for everyone on an individual basis, and I know that, guys, college students are messy, and like I said, it's the largest student-led, that is 18 to 22 year olds leading this organization every single year, bringing in thousands of freshmen to Texas A&M. I'm aware of the things that fish camp has been associated with that aren't the most positive or aren't positive at all. Like I said, no organization is perfect, especially when we're talking about college kids. But I think it's important to, if you have those views, seek knowledge, seek perspectives that are different than your own, if that makes sense. I really do encourage people who thought really good about fish camp. I would say, okay, let's listen. Let's be willing to listen to someone who didn't feel so welcome for whatever reason that it was at fish camp, which is not the goal at all. That's not the mission statement. That's not the goal. Fish camp as an organization always could do better. Every organization can always do better. There's always room to grow. And at the same time, me as a person being willing to listen to someone's experience that has not been so as fortunate as mine, that kind of goes into the listening and just being open to hearing different perspectives and then forming your own beliefs and opinions off of that. And the more you know, the better informed your opinion is going to be. And if your opinion still stays the same, then that's fine. Like, you can stand by that and you have your reasons, and that's perfectly fine. But if the more you know has you change your opinion, like, what's the thing that's going around and it's like, normalize changing your opinion or changing your belief when presented with more information. I've been doing that in so many ways in my personal life, but it's such like a valuable thing to hold with you as you navigate through these like little years of growth in college, because you're going to develop in so many ways, professionally, academically, socially, all these different things. Am I the most informed that I could be at this moment? And if not, what can I do? Who can I talk to get a different perspective, to better inform my opinion? Because you can have an opinion and maybe it's solely based on the fact that you've never experienced a certain experience before. So how can you really say that that opinion is the most accurate that it could be if you haven't even heard the other side or ever considered the other side? However many sides there are, you know, there's so many different valuable perspectives, and that's the beauty of being an individual, and that's the beauty of being able to go to college and being surrounded by so many individuals who have had so many walks of life. So I just think it's so important to be willing to open yourself up to those perspectives and see what that knowledge can do as you develop your opinions and go through college. That's my fish camp spiel. We're just gonna bring it on home really quick. I want everyone to remember whatever school you're choosing to go to, if you're choosing to join me on Texas A&M's campus, or if you're going to a freaking Ivy League, or if you're going to smaller college or community college or whatever, or if you're going to, I don't know, whatever you're doing, your school is your school. You have a voice. At the end of the day, you're the one who makes that school. Like, that school would be different with or without your attendance. Like, you matter and your voice matters. Like I said, if anything raises your suspicion, don't be afraid to challenge the norms. Don't be afraid to challenge tradition. I'm gonna be honest, A&M is like dealing with a lot of that right now because we're a very tradition-based school. And we're rooted in a lot of traditions that have very complex histories and connotations to different people with different perspectives. And we are working through that. We're working through it, okay? And all we can do is strive to be better and consistently ask, okay, does this align with what we're trying to accomplish now, in the present day, in the modern time, if that makes sense? I think I would encourage every incoming freshman to just take a look around, take everything in, pay attention to things that don't sit right with you. And if they don't, say something about it. Like, this is your school. Everyone going in and everyone continuing their education at A&M, at any college, university, when you're done with that school, when you're done with your higher education, you're gonna get some form of, you're gonna get a diploma, you're gonna get a degree, or maybe some other tangible representation of that you went to that school, and you are a representation of that school. What do you want your time there to have looked like based on the way that you reacted and were proactive in response to things that were going on there in the university? Everyone is going to learn so much about themselves in college. If you have thoughts and ideas that you think are going to enhance a situation or be a solution to a problem that you see that's very evident to you as a person, as an individual, or to a lot of people, to a group, voice those thoughts, voice those opinions. At the end of the day, it's your school, and yes, the school might get funded by the government or the school might get funded by donors, but at the end of the day, that money would have nothing to feed into if you didn't go to that school. So I think at the bottom line, like, schools need students, and we are those students. So everyone rally together, be assertive in the changes that you wish to see, and use the power that you have. Because we're young, I feel like a lot of people want to say and think that we don't have power, but we are young adults going into college or already in college, and it's important that we exercise the power that we have in the most educated way that we can. So yeah, I just wanted to share those sort of concepts with you guys because I feel like they're things that I haven't really ever talked about, and I want everyone to be comfortable in their voice, and I want everyone to know the power that they have, and I want everyone to harness that power in the most educated way, because that's the way that ish gets done, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure to subscribe. I hope you guys will join me for my next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.